Good morning everyone, coming to you this morning from Bucharest, Romania. And here's kind of a different video this morning. So since I've been kind of sick the past couple of days, I couldn't record any interview. And I had a few scheduled I thought of publishing this week, but I couldn't do them. But here's the thing that's really important. There's been so many great guests on the podcast this past couple of months, and I would say even years, that it's kind of good to go back sometimes and re-listen to what they say. And I've learned so many things that I think you guys might not have heard before. So I came up with this kind of compilation video of the best advice I've heard the past few years, and it's not everything, it's like much more than that. You could do 100 of those videos for sure. But here's one with a few advice that I really like. Let me guys know in the comments if you like those kind of videos, but let's jump right into it.
Because I see too many people, I get sometimes emails from the same people over the course of years who are still struggling, who I've never worked with. And I've sort of suggested to them, well, maybe you shouldn't trade. And then years later, I get another email from them and they're still going at it, still losing money. And I don't quite understand why.
Every result that you get comes back to how you perceive yourself. And he calls that the self-image.
I started to dig deeper and I found out that the reason why I wasn't making money was because I basically was hopping from one trading approach to another, right? I was like, just doing maybe say a few trades, right? 10 trades, 15 trades. And I find that, it's going nowhere. I hop to the next trading strategy. 10 trades, 15 trades wasn't going anywhere. I hop on to the next best thing. So after, if based on these actions, basically, I wasn't going anywhere because, trading is, you need to let the law of large number, play out in your favor, right? At least 100 trades before you know whether the trading approach is sound. So before I even hit my 100 trade, right, I was really, hopping from one system to the next.
One of the things that it actually helped me, and I'm very big on, and is a real part of the kind of, let's say, the military chain, is about having increased and raised self-awareness. You spend so much time like debriefing a mission to extract as much training value as you can out of it, that it just becomes your natural way of life to debrief constantly. And so in trading, that becomes a really crucial element.
I wasted about 2 years on various systems and strategies and just gambling my money. So I don't like to count that. Once I went all in, it took me 18 months.
Yeah, it's pretty fast, yeah.
It's fast for some and slow for some. I know people, I've worked with people who have gone on to do it in a quicker time. For me, it was 18 months, yeah. I really struggled with the mindset, but then I find out it's quicker than some. Even if you're looking just to start building a secondary income, don't worry about the money, because the more you focus on just nailing it and proving to yourself that you can be profitable, the money comes a lot quicker, because you get that confidence in your head that actually I've proved myself that I can be profitable. So then you don't have a problem funding your account. You go out and actively seek ways to fund your account. You can even chuck your own money at it. Whereas before, it's never a priority, because you don't want to put money into something that you're not quite sure of. You don't know that you're going to make a return on. So you don't prioritize putting your money into that account. You'll go and blow it on a holiday, or you might go out for meals and spend money on other things. Whereas if you've got a system that will generate a very decent return, all of a sudden you might say, actually, we're going to go for 1 mil a month, and I'm going to throw the rest into my trading account. And your mindset switches. You then become focused on funding your account. Again, it comes down to having belief in what you're doing, and you only get that through putting the hours in.
Oftentimes traders are in observation and observation mode. And like the old saying goes, you make 80% of your money 20% of the time. You don't wake up every day and crank out the printing press and make money. There could be a week or so where you don't make any trades. And that's the reality of trading. That is not unusual, at least from a professional standpoint. I was very hesitant in placing trades, meaning I was just always like a second too late, or I didn't press the button at all and the trade worked out and you're like, geez, why didn't I do that? My turning point was when we had a new trader join our office, and I just watched him start pressing the button with conviction, and the trades by and large were working out. And I was watching how he did it. I was watching his methodology, and I was thinking, holy crap, this guy's doing the same exact thing that I'm thinking about in my head, meaning he's being decisive. I'm going to be a buyer, I'm going to be a seller, whatever it is. But he was doing it with decisiveness. That, to me, I had to see somebody else doing it. That was the turning point. Prior to that, it was theoretical. I think it's going to go higher. I should buy it here. Once I saw somebody actually do it with money and not get their head taken off, that was literally the turning point for me, and I never looked back. Of course, I had losing trades along the way. I had losing streaks, but that was the turning point. And yeah, you can work hard all day, do great analysis, but at the end of the day, you may not have 2 nickels to show for it, or you might even have a loss. So there's this idea that if the markets are open, they're available to harvest money out of. That's simply not true. Again, it goes back to that you make 80% of your money 20% of the time. The rest of the time, you're sitting there gauging what you want to do, what the market's doing, and how you're going to make money from it. So your income stream is going to be very lumpy, and until you can accept that, you're going to be facing an uphill battle.
I was trading at the time as well, and I said, these principles, these risk principles, really can be applied to my trading business. So what I did was I took them from the corporate world and then applied them to my trading, and all of a sudden, the losses were less. My track records were better. My win-loss was better. So, and then all of a sudden I became a, quote, better trader, but I realized, you know what? My business as a trader is also doing much better. Here's the thing that I find that challenges a lot of people. What they do is they think about stop loss as how much I'm willing to lose on a trade. Well, newsflash, the market really doesn't care about how much you want to lose on a trade. So what I highly suggest is put the stop at a location, and again, there's a lot of variables how we can determine this, where you're wrong if the trade is not working out. So I'll put stops at certain places, say, for example, above the previous day's high or low.
I guess my journey was the journey of anything to do with mastery of any subject. It's really not that different. People say, for example, a lot of people complain, most people don't make money trading. Well, that's absolutely true. That is true. Most people lose money trading. But guess what? It's not any different than if you start a new business. Here in the US, the Small Business Administration says about 80% of new businesses go out of business in their first 5 years. And of the ones that survive, 80% of those go out of business in the next 5 years. So it's true of anything, the minority succeed. And I just see trading as another business like that. And so the path of mastery applies here as it does to any business or athletics or academics. And the path of mastery is essentially, you start out, like when I first saw technical analysis, I thought, well, this looks easy. You just buy when the 50 MA is moving up, or, you can apply Fibonacci ratios to your moving average numbers if you want to do that, or whatever it is, or this price pattern, or this candlestick pattern, or this volume spike. And, they show it to you in the books or the classes or the videos, and it all looks great until you get into the live market.
Right.
Then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, this didn't work like the guy in class showed me all the time. But the point is, you got to go through the process. You end up kind of at the same place as far as simplicity goes, but you learn so much by going through the complexity. And again, back to our quote, most people are unwilling to hang in there, to do that, to fail. And I call it failing forward. They fail and stop. Don't fail and stop. It's like in sports. I'm a huge football fan. And so in football, what they do is and most sports, they do this. They will tape everything. They'll tape your practice. They'll tape the games. And then after the game, then they go back and they review the film, and they show the players, okay, here's what you got to do and change. They do it with golfing as well. They'll videotape your golf swing and make adjustments, right? That's what we do. We use feedback loops. We don't just give people cutesy quotes and positive thinking and all that kind of stuff. It's like, no, trading is like a sport. It's a performance.
The best loser is the long-term winner. Understand that, embrace that, and you'll be a long way down the road to being successful. It's all about being a good loser. because the winners just look after themselves and they're painless. All of the financial and emotional energy is taken up by the losses. So be a good loser. The first point is you've got to understand the math of trading. It all comes down to a key concept called risk of ruin. And nobody should be placing an order on any market on their trading account unless their percentage risk of ruin is at 0%. And everyone who does trade has a statistical probability of ruining their account, which is based on how they approach the market and what percentage of their risk capital that they put behind each trade. And that's the math behind trading.
There you go, guys. Hope you like this video today. Comment below if you like it, and also give it a like as always. Tomorrow will be the weekly review that I'll do of the market. If you guys want to see it, make sure you subscribe. There's one more video like this every single day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.